On today's episode of the DeRaud Messenger Show, Texas high school football is back, Dylan. It seems like we've been hibernating, we've been, praying to the gods, and the gods have answered either that or just time moves on so fast. But Texas high school football is back, and so are our picks. High school football fans, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. It's greatly appreciated. So to begin, Dylan, the first game, this is a Dallas, I just wrote a title-esque Dallas boxing match that you've got. You've got number 2 South Oak Cliff versus number 1 Duncanville. Of course, Sock is from 5AD2. Duncanville is the king of 6A. Now, Dylan, in this one, it might not be too much of a shocker just because of all the big names that we like to throw out in a lot of these videos. But I do have Duncanville winning this game. Coach Samples finally got over the little title hump last year. Of course, it's in the title game, so it doesn't really particularly matter that he got over that. But he's got guys like Colin Simmons, who's recently committed to Texas, of course. And then you also got Caden Durham, who just committed to LSU. And then just everyone else seemingly on that team that could be, a Power 5 program commit. But I got Duncanville in this one. South Oak Cliff has lost some pieces, albeit they're still pretty dang good, hence their ranking. But I do have Duncanville, just bigger class, bigger bully on the block right now.
Yeah, flashback to last year, Devon. You picked South Oak Cliff to beat Duncanville, thinking it was the time South Oak Cliff could just, I guess, get him early.
I think
But
it was
I don't think
close. I think it was close.
I don't know what. Well, 23-10. I mean, we'll give him that. I mean, Duncanville doesn't normally let you score more than like 8 points, so that's good. But yeah, I'm gonna have to agree. Even with, you know, Duncanville having less experience, if you want to say, on defense, they still have a ton of talent. They still have Colin Simmons, who obviously we got to drop again that he committed to Texas, right? And then as well as on the offensive side of the ball with Caden Durham, it's just going to be that's too much for South Oak Cliff, especially with inexperience in quarterback as well, which tends to be a common theme with a lot of these teams. I just don't see how an early match against Duncanville is going to be good for them, and I've got Duncanville winning handedly. Now with our next one, then we have a 6A matchup again with number 2 North Shore at number 12 the Woodlands. This is a possible upset pick. Like if you have Woodlands winning this, you could make an argument in a way with a new head coach for North Shore. But just for me, with Caleb Bailey still under center, Devin, and presumed healthy going into the year, um, barring anything crazy, I don't see North Shore losing this, especially after winning 49-21 last year in the same matchup.
That's fair. Also, not a shocker. I do have North Shore in this game. Of course, though, Dylan, as you know, they're without, longtime head coach over there in John Kay, who took a job at Rice, which will be a sizable loss, Dylan. But this North Shore team is still, plenty talented to win enough games, and I don't think that loss necessarily hurts them right now. I think that loss might hurt them later down the playoffs. I think right now they're fine. Woodlands do have some good pieces though. Yet again, like I said for the last game with the Sock, Woodland's pretty highly ranked, number 12. Got Mabry Mature at quarterback, committed to Wisconsin. One of those fun places to be a quarterback. I feel like doing. You'd be jumping around, no pun intended over there. But
Uh,
Caleb Bailey is the guy. We're hoping he's back in form with his health, and there's no reason right now to doubt it. Seems like he's looked good so far in the preseason that I've seen, at least clips wise, but I do have North Shore. Now, next game we have is 6A, number 4 Westlake at number 25 Fort Bend Ridge Point. And I said, Westlake might have been a title winner last year, of course, but that doesn't mean they're still rock solid all around. Of course, we talked about the loss of Todd Dodge last year at head coach, and that's kind of what I was talking about North Shore. That loss in head coach seems to not necessarily hurt the team early on, but later on. However, Coach Salazar is well deserved of that position. He's got a year of head coaching experience under his belt. He won the Dylan Assistant Coach of the Year award twice before taking that job last year. So I have no doubts in Salazar. But yet again, the guy that you mispronounced last time, I'll give him some respect. Running back Jack Kaiser. Yeah, I had to throw that back at you. Is arguably the best all-around running back in the state of Texas. And if you look at him, that might surprise you. And it's no shade to him. He's undersized running back. But Dylan, he's like Deuce Vaughn out there. He bounces off people. He's playing special teams. He's catching passes out of the backfield. It's very pretty to watch. Westlake's not done. I got Westlake.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta agree with you. I'll be going with Westlake in this matchup too. Obviously, it wasn't the same year that they had like that you would expect last year, right? Just given their level of dominance, you didn't see that. But beginning of the season, they did show dominance, and that was against Fort Bend Ridge Point, winning 44-14. I don't see that going any other way this time, even with them being on the road in this matchup. I still expect Westlake's defense to put in the work they normally do, and especially with the offensive talent they have. I've got Westlake winning this.
Yeah, you can't blame me there. And lightning round, we don't have the graphics up. Hopefully, I can figure that all out soon. But picture the lightning bolts. We got 6A number 7 Vandegrift at number 23 Dripping Springs. This was a playoff matchup last year, Dylan. Of course, Vandegrift, it was a close game, but they did pull away with that one. That was, if you were there, there's some questionable stuff going on, but it's a new year, Dylan. It's a new year. I got Vandegrift.
Yeah, I know this is the start of me just picking against Vandegrift last year in the playoffs, where I was just like, oh, they're going to lose this time. Oh, they're going to lose this time. And I take Drifting Springs. And obviously, that did not pan out for me. Vandegrift definitely surprised me, especially. So I'll be redeeming myself. I will be going with Vandegrift in this one, Devin. And then the next one, we have 6A, number 16, San Antonio Brennan at number 13, Cibolo Steel. Cibolo won 35-34 last year, Devin, in a different spot. I believe Brennan was ranked 12th, and Cibolo was the number 16 seed in that matchup. And they won it, and I expected to kind of go the same way. Brennan's going through a turnover on their roster, and I think this is Cibolo's time to shine again this year for them.
Yeah, Brennan last year, especially late, really caught on. They had some star players at quarterback and wide receiver who are now graduated. So of course it doesn't bode well for them. Cibolo Steel is one of those like legacy teams where they just continue at least compete year in year out in the San Antonio area. So I do got Steel in this one. Next game we have is an interesting one, at least for Dylan's boys over there. 5A D1 6A matchup. You got number 2 Longview at number 22 McKinney. Now Dylan, I'm gonna shock you with this one. Just kidding. I'm not gonna shock you with this one. I got Longview.
Okay, well, that doesn't make me feel better about this pick because I also have Longview. I think their defense is going to be the decider in this matchup, just with question marks on offense for both teams. So we'll see how this goes. Maybe we're jinxing them out of it, but yeah, we'll be going with my boys at Longview. Now, with our next one, Devin, we have something of, I don't know if it's a rivalry. It's a rivalry in my head given last year, but we have number 1 Parish Episcopal at 5AD1, number 1 Aledo. I picked Aledo last year, and they sadly lost to Parish Episcopal, Devin. And then I continued to pick against Parish Episcopal throughout the season and kept eating my words. But New Year, same me. I'm going with Aledo in this matchup.
Yeah, I probably made the same mistake, but sometimes Dylan, I do have the edge there, of course. But no, I'm also picking Aledo. It's just I think they've learned their lesson and they ended up rounding the year on a hot note, of course. So I'm gonna stick with it. Now this is the game that is one of the ones I'd definitely be looking forward to attending if I could. 5A D1, 5A D2 matchup. You got number 3 College Station at number 8 Lovejoy. Now I was really high on Lovejoy last year. Of course they let me down. But you know what, Dylan? As you said, new year, new me. No, new year, same me. I got a Lovejoy. They got too many pieces to pick against.
Interesting. Yeah, this was a tough game. Tough game to pick. Lovejoy did womp them 52-27 last year. Both teams are kind of dealing with a reload in essence. But I got to go with College Station's skill players here, Devin. I think that's going to be a little bit of an edge here. So I will be going with College Station this time. And then our next one, we have a 5AD2 and 5AD1 matchup with number 6 Port Neches Groves at Port Arthur Memorial. Devin, I'm just going to say PNG for them. It's an interesting team. It's a team to watch. But I think this early of a matchup in the season against the Port Arthur defense, that's going to be solid this year. I will be going with Port Arthur at home.
Yeah, I have Port Arthur and Memorial as well. Next game we have 5AD2, another good one. This might be the game of the week. Number 3 Argyle at number 1 Melissa. Yet again, I've made my sweet Melissa jokes already, so I'm gonna have to come up with something new next time. But Dylan, this is the stadium opener for Melissa, I believe. It looked ready to me, so I think this is game number 1. Argyle, if they won that, they'd have something to talk about for years to come, saying they opened the Melissa Stadium with a win. But Melissa, is my state title pick. I got Melissa in this one.
Yeah, this is the moment too big for Melissa here? Somewhat, I don't want to say pressure, but there's a lot going into this, like with the new stadium that you're talking about. So possibly some added feelings to it. Maybe Argyle kind of gets in there and just the emotions overcome Melissa. Who knows? That's the tinfoil hat theory, right? But I will be going with Melissa. I think they'll be able to move the ball well against Argyle's kind of new defensive line with recent graduations from last year. Now, their next one, we have 5AD2, number 10, Midlothian Heritage, Devon. At 4AD1, number 4, Stephenville. I think Heritage defense here is going to be a decider as well. Just being able to make more stops in Stephenville. I think both offenses are good, but it's just going to be the other side of the ball where I think Heritage is going to have that advantage. So I'll be going with Midlothian Heritage in this one.
I've seen Stephenville go too deep in the playoffs in the last 2 years to really pick against them at this time. But they are in the lower classification, which always scares me, a little bit. But I do have Stephenville. Yeah. I think it'll be a good game, a sneaky one as well. And then another sneaky one, you got almost a Waco area matchup. You got the 4AD1 versus 3AD1 matchup. You got China Spring, number 1, at number 6, Lorena. Now, Lorena, Dylan, I did have as a sleeper, but China Spring I did have as a state title winner. So, which one is the heavier balance going to? I got China Spring.
Yeah, I'm going with China Spring, too. This was kind of like when I saw the list that you gave me of the games coming up, I was like, okay, China Spring. So, like, an easy pick for me. I didn't really give it too much of a thought. So, we'll see if I eat those words, but I just think China Springs is a heavy favorite here going into this game. With our next one, we have 4AD1, number 3, Tyler Chapel Hill at 4AD2, number 5, Gilmer. This could go either way. Last year, Gilmer won 51-27, but I really like this Tyler Chapel Hill team going into the season. I had them listed as a contender and possibly someone like just could make a run in the 4AD1 circuit. So, Devon, I'll be going with Tyler Chapel Hill here.
Yeah, it's hard to pick against Gilmer, especially what they've been doing yet again these past couple years where they have proved me wrong quite a bit, and they just, they're kind of gritty. They're a Carthage-esque team. But I do have Tyler Chapel Hill. They have a lot of returning starters, and, it's just things seem to be boating in their direction, at least well. But I guess we'll see in a week. 4AD1, we got number 5, Decatur, at number 8, Anna. Dylan, I'm going Anna.
Interesting. This is another toss-up. I'm actually going with Decatur on the road for this one. Now, next one, we have 4AD2, number 1, Carthage, at 4AD1, number 9, Kilgore. Devon, I don't know how much thought you put into this. I kind of just went with Carthage here, just with the team, with the history that they have. I see no reason they don't come out guns blazing in this one.
I was going to say this should have been our quickest pick. I got Carthage. The next game we got 4AD2, 3AD1, number 3, Pleasant Grove. This is a sneaky matchup as well. Number 3, Pleasant Grove, at number 2, Brock. Now, of course, I picked Brock as a title winner, but I think Pleasant Grove, they're a class above. I'm feeling good about them. I think Brock bounces back in the future, but I do have Pleasant Grove in this one. Call me crazy.
Well, yeah, Pleasant Grove is a catalyst for Brock going 0-4 to start the season or so. I see no reason it changes. I know we're both high on Brock as our title picks, and I don't think that's going to change with this one. But Pleasant Grove won 28-7 last year. Just difference in classifications, I think, will be kind of the main sticking point here. I'll be going with Pleasant Grove. With our next one, we have 4AD2, number 6, Glen Rose, at 3AD1, number 9, Grandview. Devon, we both like Grandview, but again, different classifications. Glen Rose beat them last year pretty handedly. I will be going with Glen Rose on the road.
I was really tempted to make that pick, but call me crazy. I'm going home team Grandview. Just too much love. Too much love.
Okay.
Next game we have
3
Oh, of course. Got to be emotional. 3AD1, 2AD1 matchup. You got number 7 Hitchcock playing down loosely here against at number 1 Refugio. I have Refugio.
And I'm actually going to be going with Hitchcock on the road here, Devon.
Oh,
I believe in them in this one.
Oh, boy.
Now, our next one, we have 2AD1, number 4, Beckville, at 2AD1, number 2, Timpson. Devon, I don't need to explain anything. I will be going with Timpson.
I have Timpson as well. Next game we have 1AD1, number 6, Knox City versus number 1, Westbrook. I have Westbrook.
Yeah, I also have Westbrook in this one. Now, the next one we have 1A D1 number 4, Happy, versus 1A D2 number 8, Klondike. Always a tough one, but I'm going to be picking against Klondike and going with Happy.
I was gonna say I need to set the mood here, so I got to go
Mm,
happy. Next game we
yeah,
have, and the last game, 1AD2,
just for last.
1AD1 matchup. Number 3 Balmarea at number 7 Rankin. Now this is a tough one because we really love both of these teams, but
Yeah.
Balmarea is just too much right here, I think, for Rankin. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, they're my title pick for a reason, so I will be going with Belmaria to kind of set the tone for the rest of the season here.
And who do you got in week 1 winning all these matchups? Let us know down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and of course, have a great rest of your day.